Hello, welcome again to this brief lecture on why many people are not aware, or we are not aware, that Benin and Igala kingdoms celebrate Yam Festival. Now, I will just talk about the aspect of that of Benin first, because sometimes when you are too young to know something, the important thing is for you to ask before you start making comments on it, because it will look too bad when a child begins to make mockery of an elder, although the elder may not say anything, because he knows that the person making the mockery, okay, of him or her doesn't know exactly what is there. And so that is why I'm just taking my time to give you this brief aspect. Now, you may be wondering, why is Dr. Ayuba talking about Benin history? Well, I am one of the trained cultural administrators, okay, in Nigeria, and this is culture. All right. So now, look at this. Benin people had many festivals, which they are still having. Oloku, Agwe, Emoro, etc. These festivals were there. But something happened at a particular point. All right, something happened. Now, there was a time that they were invaded, okay, by the British. Should I just say unjustly? Now, let me read this to you. Okay, the invasion in Benin Kingdom took place in 1897. Are you getting this? This was the beginning of the problem. And this was the beginning of the end to the festival. Good. Now, when the British forces of about 1,200 men, led by Rear Admiral Harry Ronson, they destroyed the palace, carted away Benin artifacts in thousands. This was because the Benin warriors earlier unlived a British acting consul general, James Phillips, and his party in an ambush. Did you hear what I said? Something happened before the British came with 1,200 men. I mean, this is to tell you how powerful Benin people were, because for this type of soldiers to be sent to a kingdom, it tells you the degree of their warriorship. But that is still not the end. Okay, that's the process. Look at the beginning, the processes. On November 1896, James Phillips requested for permission to invade Benin and depose Oba Ovorawe. Can you see? He was taking permission. That was what happened in those days. And that was the exact thing that happened in Igala. They'll be looking for one way or the other to depose, to remove the king of his own land, the king of his own land. And you can look at this, just like your father, okay? Someone is trying to chase your father from his home. Will he quickly run, or he will do something? No matter how weak your dad is, to be chased away from his home, he will not run quickly. And that was what happened. Now listen again. On January 4th, 1897, Philip and his party, okay, were going to Benin to do what they planned to do. But the Benin people were already aware, and they stayed in the bush. And what happened? They did what they did. On February 9, okay, on February 9, 1897, the British invasion occurred, and this led to the fall of Benin Kingdom to the British control as part of Nigeria. This led to the loss of heritage, dethronement and exiling of Oba Oborame, and the suspension of many festivals. I think this is very clear. Okay, so this time around, that was when? That was 1896 or 1897. So how many of you were born in those in that year or around that time? That is why many people are on Facebook making noise, okay, that Benin don't celebrate Yam Festival. But this is not enough evidence. Listen again. According to the book, The Art of Fasting, Benin's Agwe, a ceremony by Kati. Okay? You see this book? Good. Written in 1997. This Kati was of Department of Art and Design at Cleveland State University. This is not from Nigeria. And what did he say? Because many of you have said that, in fact, last year, okay, some people started saying, oh, why is Benin trying to start Yam Festival? It means Benin people have copied from them. And they were saying this, all right, on Facebook. People were laughing at them, especially those that know that Benin people have a Yam Festival. Now look at this. According to him, I'm talking about according to Kati, I'm reading from this book. Okay? I'm reading from this book. So you two can go and get it. He said, against all advice, acting British Consul General James Phillips insisted on visiting Benin City in early January 1897. The Oba had asked him to delay because of Agwe, a ritual requiring his complete isolation from visitors. All right? This ritual, when he is doing it, he's not supposed to see or receive any visitor. That was why he told the Philip, the Consul General, to hold on. All right? Although the subsequent British colonization was probably inevitable, Agwe's timing and Philip's obstinate catalyzed the chain of reactions which led to the conquest of the kingdom. Now pay attention still. Formally, a ceremony of critical importance Agwe has received. Okay, that is not the major distinction now. The major distinction is yam. Can you listen? Yam, which is Benin staple food and crop, were ostensibly at Agwe's core. Now, in other words, yam is the major thing being used in Agwe festival. Okay? So every new Oba creates its own rule for Agwe change substantially under various monarchs. Okay? Until the regional New Yam beliefs. Did you hear that? Regional New Yam Festival beliefs. This book was written in 1997 by a white man. It was not written last year in 2014 when Benin people were trying to celebrate Yam Festival. But like I said, many of you were young and did not even know about this. So you look at it again. All right? Now, it went further to say that the vines in the first which opened, okay, before the British invasion, yams played a critical ritual role in 4 related ceremonies. Are we seeing this now? So the basic thing is that, or what you are going to know, is that Yam Festival has been there. At its conclusion, Benin News Yam Festival was celebrated. And what you are seeing here is the knife used by Benin people during the Yam Festival. But the basic thing here is that as a result of the banning, because even the Oba that time was exiled to Calabar, Oba Bovare, okay, so was exiled, and all the festivals were banned, and because of this banning, many of you, the young ones, did not even know that they were doing all these festivals. But it started some years ago, or it was resumed, okay, restarted again some years ago. Not that they are just starting it. So for those that are young and making mockery of themselves, please, this is what you have to learn from. Go and get a book, go and get good materials to know. And those outside the world, it is a lie when you hear someone says that Benin people are not celebrating Yam Festival. In fact, there are many people in Southeast today who are from Benin. They took this festival from here to that place. okay, and they can attest to this. All right, this is a brief lecture, and this is about the reason why many people are not aware of this. You can share, make your comments, all right? Make your comments, make your contributions so that others will learn from. Thank you.